Last week, Leslie McCormick of the Farwell Group joined us, and she discussed a path so we can better understand how to keep our affairs in order. Today, Darren Farwell is with us, and he's promised to update us as well. So good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn.
What are we talking about today?
Well, last week, my colleague, Leslie, did highlight the importance of, having your legal documents up to date so that your affairs like paying bills and paying your mortgage or helping friends and family or organizations that you care about, all of that stuff can be managed in the case that for some reason or not, you aren't just ready or able to manage it yourself. Obviously, the tragedy and worry about COVID-19 have brought this kind of concern to the top of people's minds. But quite frankly, it's always important, but certainly something to really address these days. Now, for many widows and many of our other listeners, the income earned from your investments is an important part of maintaining your lifestyle, supporting the freedom to do what you choose to do, and maintain your dignity. And that means your savings need to keep working for you all the time. Your investments need to be responsive to what's going on. And lately, as the stock market went way down and subsequently has climbed way back up, while at the same time, the interest rates you earn in savings accounts and GICs have gone lower. With all of this going on at once, having a trusted professional investment advisor on your team can keep your savings work for you by being in the right place as the world changes. And our clients have access to professional managed portfolios that can do just that for you. But let me give you Hugh as an example of how this works. Hugh lost his wife quite a long time ago. A little surprisingly, I'll admit, he's stayed single ever since. And 2 years after he retired at age 68, he embarked on, more or less, a world cruise. It started in January of 2020. He was to disembark in March of 2020. So I bet everyone can see where this is going. He was one of those so many cruise line passengers trapped on board. And in his case, it was for a long time. And he had virtually no ability to call me, his investment advisor, to discuss his investments during this whole period of highly volatile time in the stock market. Now, the good news for Hugh is that he has a discretionary account with me and my team, which means that he's given us the okay to make changes to his investments as long as those changes stay within his clearly documented level of risk and rate of return. And because of this, we were able to be responsive quickly as things in the market unfolded. In fact, as the market began to fall early on, we sold some of his equity investments and raised some cash. Then, late in March, as it seemed things were going to improve, we took a portion of that cash and put it back in the market. And it's been a bit of a gift. The market has recovered 50% of that decline that we saw from February to March. So there's been a nice recovery, and the money that Hugh put back in to the market has done well. So Hugh couldn't respond to what was going on, but we did on his behalf within, of course, his, as I said, chosen parameters. As a result, to be very specific, Hugh is actually up 2.2% this year to date, while the stock market is down. Now, when Hugh finally got home and settled, it was a few days of having hot showers and hanging out in his own apartment, he was thrilled to find out that we actually had been able to be responsive and look after his savings for him, even when he wasn't able to himself. So, of course, there's lots of reasons outside of the current COVID crisis that you could get in the way of you being able to manage your own investments. And doing nothing can have long-term impacts on your savings and your lifestyle. So Leslie recommends that you get your wills, power of attorney updated and in place. Plan for the best, but be prepared for the worst. Likewise, I'm recommending that for some, having a trusted financial advisor on your team to ensure your savings are being properly managed at all times is an equally important part to your long-term financial well-being.
Well, that sounds like wonderful advice. And I know that you offer a complimentary consultation, as does everyone on the team. So if someone is thinking about what their investments are doing and whether they could actually have the help of someone like yourself and they want to talk to you, how do we reach you?
They're welcome to call at 416-863-7501. 416-863-7501. The Farwell Group website, there's a link on my website, marilyns.ca as well. And Darren, I thank you for giving us the heads up. I guess that after health, people do worry about their wealth and they want food on their table and they want their savings to at least stay the same, if not grow. And you've shown us a way that we can have peace of mind. I advise anyone who wants to protect their future to call their financial advisor. And if they want a second opinion or want to speak to Darren personally, 416-863-7501. Since you mentioned it, I do suggest strongly that given all the changes that have happened this year to date, you said it yourself there, it's a very good time, if you're not sure, if you're not really confident the way your investments are set up, it is a good time to get a second opinion. Just get another eyes on what you're doing, just to be sure that your things are, your savings are in the right place for the current environment. And I told a story about Hugh and his portfolio. If anyone would like to get a glimpse of the kind of portfolio that Hugh has, feel free to call and we'll be happy to supply that, or give a second opinion as well.
So 416-863-7501. Ask your questions of Darren and the Farwell Group and get your answers. And now Dr. Betty Rosendahl of Thornhill Naturopathic Clinic is going to explain how we can use medication to combat the stress in our lives. And then we'll have happy stories from hearing instrument specialist Edmund Ivazian of Hearing Aid Source Centers of Toronto, and from a woman's perspectives, Cupid, matchmaker Linda Miller of Misty River Introductions is going to join us. So lots more to come, all of it from a woman's perspective with me, Marilyn Weston, and my wonderful team here on Zoomer Radio.